Hello, welcome to this creative channel, The Artistic Hand. This is Pius here. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not already done so. Again, please feel free to check on the previous videos and share your thoughts on the comment section. Like and click on the notification button so you could be prompted on the upcoming videos. Today is the third episode of realistic color portrait painting. You know, color pencils offer the pleasures of drawing and painting. And in my previous videos, I introduced some techniques used in color pencil works. Blending has mostly been my most used pencil color technique, but there are other several ways that you can approach these works. Hatching is one technique that best works with color pencils. This is where the artist draws or paints closely spaced parallel lines, leaving some underlying background color untouched. In this technique, you would realize that the closer the lines, the more the texture, and the more the tonal value it creates. To build on the hatching, the artist used crisscrossing lines to create the feeling of light and shadow, depending on the background color and the value of the color used. And this is cross-hatching. You can also use blending, as I said before, and this is achieved by applying evenly good amount of pressure to the pencil to create a smooth sheet of color on the surface of the paper. Blending is also used to create depth, that is aerial perspective, in most paintings. In the process of blending my works, I paint a primary layer of color with light pressure, and then I add multiple layers of colors and gradually exert a bit more pressure each time. You can also adopt the scumbling technique, that is scrubbing technique done to reveal the underlying color through a broken top layer, intentionally made for special texture effect until a sheet of wax effect is achieved. The vibrancy of color at this point is a lot less because artists mostly blend colors like white, light yellow, and light pinks to give that thick creamy effect. So, to achieve the brilliance or the fullness of the color I want, I would always come back with the color to feathery paint over, making sure that the pencil point does not clear the sheet of color below it. This process of creating a smooth sheet into the troughs and over the teeth of the paper is called burnishing. I adopt this technique sometimes when I want to tone down the value of my color in hand. That is, if the color I have in hand is too strong for what I want to achieve, I always apply white or creamy color with a bit more pressure to form a base color for my color. You can also use multiple colors that are closely related on the color wheel and apply them layer by layer to achieve this effect. Try mixing your own colors with the pencils available by burnishing several colors into the paper. This gives the painting a nice natural touch, instead of using the factory manufactured colors by themselves. Mixing the colors together by layering one on top of the other helps the artist to maintain a certain level of temperature that is suitable for the drawing or painting. I will take you back to the details of this painting. In this piece, I created a warm, rich color painting with an amazing reference picture. This is going to be a short tutorial of the process I used. I started with the initial pencil sketch, as you could see in the background of the paper. The sketch came in a bit strong, so you would regularly see me using kneaded eraser to pick up some of the graphite pencil out of the paper, so that it is not seen through the final layers of the colors I lay. Today, I'm using about a 12 color Prismacolor set for this painting, and I'm using warm colors for the most part of the face. I'm also using a much smoother paper compared to the one I used in my previous video. However, with the use of Prismacolor, the paper is able to hold the pencil very well. One very important clue in using color pencils is the mode of layering. Since some of the colors are ridiculously stronger than the others, it is always advisable to apply the lighter colors first before building more layers with the darker colors. However, the flip side also works for me, especially when I want a tone of the color in hand. That said, to apply a darker color before building on a lighter one, you should be able to master the way you regulate your pressure so you don't get muddy dark colors that kill the overall brilliance of the painting at large. Here, I started layering the darker areas of her glass and gradually blended in all the dark browns and grays. Then I introduced the strong reflections and highlights. Most of the strong orange and the yellow brilliant colors of the face are resulting from the reflections of her sunglass. I worked my way down from the sunglass to the nose with the same idea of using warm oranges. Then I added another reflection of light blue from the sunglass to the top of the nose. There were a lot of back and forth with the colors as I wanted to achieve many layers using most of the colors from the sunglass as reflections. I used 7 different colors of warm yellows and oranges, and 3 blues and a white together. The idea is that you can use a lot of colors just to achieve a nice sheet that is easy on the eye. So, be confident when using any form of color to describe the tonal value of the face. Because of the strength of sunlight falling on the face, I try to keep in mind that there will be lots of casted shadow, reflections and high contrast in the face. Most of the base colors were laid flat and with less pressure. I blended the colors with light pink and creamy yellow on the lower part of the face before throwing in the final rich warm yellows and oranges. On the upper side of the face where most of the casted shadows are, I used brown as the first layer, and for blocking, tinted the brown down with tints of pink before putting in the final layers of colors. These light pink colors were instrumental in tinting up the brilliance of the colors when needed. I mostly used circular scribbing and curvy stroke gestures as my basic motion technique throughout the painting. The hair was pretty much the easiest part. So back to the hair, same technique of scribbling, but this time with long strokes of pencil marks. I try to bring my pencil to a sharp point so that the color do not smoothly blend. But you can see that though the hair is dark, each section of the hair has a different tonal value. So what I did was to block the area with the right value of color using light pressure. Then I proceeded with sharp point pencils to bring out the details. I used ranges of browns, dark blues, reds, and dark oranges for the second layer before adding few strands of light blues, greens, and yellows. I also used few dark greens, purples, and black for the final touches. I hope you enjoy this process. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe.